for health care, for working families, and for children everywhere, Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi.
Thank you all. Do you know how important you are? I hope you know your power, because all of the things that we have talked about, whether the Affordable Care Act or expanding the subsidies or saving the Affordable Care Act when they try to go, or protecting Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security, would not happen without the outside mobilization. We can just do so much in the Congress. And in that regard, I wish you could have seen, or perhaps you did on TV, Hakeem Jeffries testified today before the Rules Committee. It was spectacular, but you heard some of it this evening. Earlier in the morning or in the night, this has been a long engagement. Our chair, soon to be once and future chair of the Budget Committee, Brendan Boyle, led the way, and he was fabulous, just spectacular. You're going to hear from him now. And again, we can do what we can do, but the outside mobilization, inside maneuvering, outside mobilization. Now let's just talk about what's happening here. This is a Republican reverse Robin Hood. They are taking from people who should have it, we need to help, and giving it to the richest people in America. Just as they did in 2017, the last time they had the White House and the majority in the Congress, they put a tax bill that gave 83% of the benefits to the top 1%. To the top 1%. It's sinful. It's immoral. It's wrong. But let me just say this, because I think it's important to know. We're saying they're cutting Medicaid and SNAP and all that to pay for their tax cut. No, they're taking their tax cut no matter what. They don't care if it's paid for or not. What they're trying to do is undo governance for the people. Undo Medicare, undo Medicaid, undo Medicare. So understand, this is a bigger plot. This is a bigger plot than their usual tax cut. Now, last time, they're so fiscally sound. We can't feed the children because it's going to add to the national debt. No, we can give tax breaks to the richest people in America. It added $2 trillion in 2017. It added $2 trillion to the national debt. This time, chicken feed. They want to add $4.5 trillion to the national debt. Boo. And at the same time, talk about cutting, now $1 trillion, over $700 billion from Medicaid, $300 billion from SNAP. Just that, $1 trillion. Food out of the mouths of babies, money in the pocket of billionaires. It's just plain wrong. But we have to be hopeful, because in 17, when they did what they did, in 18, with the help of so many of you, we were able to have 10,000 events around the country to save the Affordable Care Act. Now we have to save Medicaid. Hands off our Medicaid. Hands off our Medicaid. Hands off our Medicaid. No tax break for billionaires. You know, some of these billionaires, they say, oh, I'm so tired of hearing Democrats say no taxes, no tax breaks for billionaires. You're tired of it? Well, we're tired of tax breaks for billionaires. You want to be tired? You ain't seen nothing yet. Because in 18 months, with your help, just as we did in 17, when 18, we won back the House. In 18, we stopped them in their tracks because they couldn't do anything more. They didn't have the House. So in 18 months, Hakeem Jeffries will be the Speaker of the House, and it'll be the end of what they plan to do. But we can't do it without you. So as I say, know your power. Thank you. Hey, you said we can end gun violence. You probably know this. Thank you for that. What they have in this bill, there's a $200 tax on silencers. It's been there for almost 100 years, since like 1930. 2,000 tax on silence. They're taking it off. They're taking it off. It's going to lift over $1 billion. Is that wrong? I mean, it's silencers over about 100 years. They're doing that. They're going after a woman's right to choose, everything that is about family. So thank you for families over billionaires, babies over billionaires. Thank you, Planned Parenthood. Thank all of you for what you are doing. Tax the rich. Tax the... Hands off our Medicaid. Hands off our Medicaid. And let me just say this one last thing, because people say, oh, it's just for poor people. One of them said, if you believe this, one of the Republicans said, why do people think that they should have Medicaid? Oh, really? So here's the thing. People say, oh, it's for poor children. That would be justification enough. That's our moral responsibility. But it's a middle-class benefit as well, because what it does is for families that need long-term care for seniors, they have to have that. And if families have people with disabilities, they need to have that, whatever their income level. So this is about everybody in our country being affected. We just have to make sure, and my daughter Christina, we just got off the phone, making the calls to Republican districts from their own constituents. Nothing is more eloquent to a member of Congress than the voice of their own constituents. So tell your friends who live in Republican districts to call them and tell them, we know what you're doing, so that they know to be afraid. They may be afraid of what's his name, but they got to be afraid of you too. Thank you all. Hands off our Medicaid.
Got to go. Hey, hey.